Hey folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our book for today is Dead Until Dark by Charlaine Harris. This is the first book in the Sookie Stackhouse series. And the publisher is Ace. Here, I'll show you. That's the publisher right there. Alright. Now, there is blood, biting, rape, sex, alcohol, murder, vampires, beatings. Did I already mention blood? I think I might. And, telepathic abilities. And this one, so if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright. Now, this is my second time reading this book. I've already read it years ago. But I did read it in the Hebrew translation. I think in Hebrew it was Meta Dalayla. Dead Until Dark. It would have been Dead Until Night, I think. I don't think it was Meta Dachoshech. Was it? No. But yeah, anyway, I read it years ago. I don't remember. How old was I even? Was I a teenager? I think maybe. But yeah, anyway, my point is I've already read it and I really enjoyed it. I read only up until the second book and that's it. I never continued the series. And I decided to go back, reread the first two books and actually continue this time. Because I very much enjoyed it. And reading this, I forgot how fun this was. Alright, so the story is about Sookie Stackhouse. It was kind of funny with Sookie because it sounds like a Russian swear. Sounds like how you say sons of bitches in Russian. Sookie. Yeah, so that was funny. Back then, anyway. Yeah, so Sookie is a waitress in Louisiana. No, what city is she in? You know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna try to figure out cities. Anyway, she's in America. Somewhere in what was it? Not Push. You know what? Never mind. Well, where she lives, it's I think the southern. It's the warm and stuff, and it's Bon Temps. Okay, I finally remembered. That's where she lives. So she's I don't remember. She's between 27 and 29 years old. She's a waitress. She lives with her grandmother. She has a brother named Jason, who's 3 years older. And also she has a very special ability, or disability as she calls it. Sookie's a telepath, or able to read minds of people. And she can't control it, she can just turn it off. And so she constantly hears thoughts and everything, and has to put up walls to protect her mind somewhat. So you can imagine life isn't very easy for her. And no, it never has been with her disability. And now in this book, in the universe of this book, vampires are now legal. They came out of the coffin, as they describe it here. Some of them are trying to mainstream, as they say, to live among humans. And this is all happening around. And Sookie meets a vampire that wants to live. He used to live in Bon Temps. And he wants to live there. His name is Bill. And ever since she meets him, which she is excited about, a lot of things happen. Murders are happening in Bon Temps. Young ladies are being murdered. A specific sort of young ladies, the ones that are, as we learn, waitresses who have had relationships with vampires, or mainly sexual relationships. And Sookie is also targeted by the murderer. We have all this happening. You know, Sookie getting the knowledge about the vampire world and society somewhat, meeting more vampires. Her grandmother gets murdered. The killer is looking for her, but he finds her grandmother instead and murders her. So yeah, Sookie has a very unpleasant ride, essentially. And I don't really relay how the whole story goes, but nah, I won't do too much this time. I already started from the second book. I just really enjoyed going back to this. I forgot what a fun and flowy read this was. Yeah, Suki's this, she mostly tries to be happy as much as she can. You know, she can't really have much of a relationship with a guy. But she can hear every thought, and, you don't want to hear everything someone else is thinking. Because, they might think something not particularly nice and you'll get upset. It's better not to know. And then, for some reason, it reminds me of an experiment where people in a house didn't lie to each other at all. Didn't turn out well. So yeah, the killer is someone that Sookie actually knows. And yeah, things get very twisted. As I was reading this, because I did, it doesn't say that, yeah, it doesn't say that here, so this copy's a little different. Uh, the copy I have here is the one I got from Book Depository, but the one I've been reading is this one. I got it from Amazon. I didn't think this would arrive, so I got that one, but I was already reading this. And as you can see, there's a series. There's a HBO series. Came out long ago already. And I did watch it. Not all of it. I know there's quite a few seasons, but I did watch some of the first season. And that's it. I didn't watch any further than that. So it's just interesting, remembering what I saw in the series and rereading this. How they made things different, versus how different her brother is not that drastically different perhaps, but how different he is from the series. Or in the series they made him far more goofier and I think a little more dumb than he is here. And how because I remember in the series, he's very much against vampires, but in the book, he's, not a fan, I would say, but he seems to tolerate them. It's interesting in the series, they decided to make him, really hate vampires, from what I remember, at least. And how also, Sookie, she has friends, but, not. Now, she has a close friend, but, not one where she can talk to about all that's with her. And in the series, she had her friend Tara? Yeah, she had her friend Tara, but I don't think they talked about her gift either, have they? I don't remember. So yeah, it was interesting to think back. I don't remember everything about the series. I do remember the song was awesome. At least the one they used in the first season. Yeah, for the opening. But yeah, I missed this. I definitely want to finish reading this series this time. It has 13 books. So I'm definitely going to do my best to finish all of them next year. Well, I already finished the first one this year. I have the second one. And yeah, this, man. I really missed how fun the series was. I look forward to, to rereading and then reading the books in the series I never did. I want to see what other adventures Sookie's gonna fall into. Because there's the vampire Eric here. He's sort of a head honcho, and he has a club called Fantasia. Fantasia. Yeah, Sookie, she goes to do some investigation about the murders, because her brother is suspected. throughout the book to be the one that murdered the girls. And she goes with Bill. Also, something else I want to talk about was their relationship with Bill. I don't remember too much how it was in the series though. But this would have been. I'm thinking if Bella had this sort of personality, Bella from Twilight. Because here's Sookie, although she really wants to meet a vampire, she's not this giddy and stupid. She knows vampires are dangerous. And you can see her reaction to the things that Bill does. And how, it scares her and the emotional roller coaster. The one thing she loves about Bill is how she can relax because she can't hear his thoughts. But it looks like she might be able to also listen in on vampires' thoughts. Well, how she listens, she can't just, look at someone and listen fully. Sometimes she just gets images, feelings. She doesn't always get a clear picture. Also, the limitations of her ability are very interesting as well. But yeah, it's far more realistic. How much it freaks her out, all the death, how scary it is for her. I think if Bella was more like this, it would be more interesting. And also, there aren't sparkly vampires. I did say it before, right? I did enjoy Twilight, when I read it. I think if I read it when I was older, I probably wouldn't. But, yeah, still fun memories. I just mean, this is probably a far more realistic depiction of how a relationship like that would work. Because Bill is also, he says there's something about Sookie's blood that is very different. I wonder if that has to do with her abilities, and I wonder, how she got her abilities. Because her brother doesn't have any sort of ability that we know of anyway in this part. So it is interesting to see, how's it gonna continue. Because this time I'll finally at least find out what happens. I was so curious about also another thing. Again, I said spoilers for the show too. Now, I didn't finish watching the show. I only watched some of the first season. But I remember seeing a clip somewhere of the finale of the series, and Sookie's pregnant there. And everyone's sitting at a table. I don't remember all the characters that were there. But it does make me curious if... really, is that something from the book, or is this something they added themselves? I am curious. But yeah, this must have been a bit rambly, maybe a little all over the place. My bad, but I just really wanted to talk about this book. Man, I haven't had this much fun reading a book in quite a long time. So yeah, this was great. So yes, I think if you if you really like vampire books, I think you'll enjoy this one. It has romance, investigation, murders, everything, powers, abilities, a whole, vampire culture. Seems to every book has its own, vampire universe. There's also something I noticed in vampire books. Every vampire book has its own rules in it. And also other medias. I've always found that interesting. Because, in some stories or games, things are different. Some stories, vampires can walk out in the sun. It won't do anything to them. You'll notice they're not human. Some, it doesn't affect them. Because there's, I don't know what the book is, but, there's just so many. It's interesting. In some, they can have children. Like in the game Vampire, for instance, apparently vampires can have children there. The baby will just develop into an adult in months. In others, they can't have kids. And, something peculiar in Twilight about that is how, spoilers for Twilight, and then not Twilight, the third book anyway. That was the third. Yeah, that was the third book. That a human vampire can, impregnate. Sorry, a human vampire. A male vampire can impregnate a human female. Which, again, is interesting. They're dead, so why does the sperm work? But because female vampires in that universe cannot get pregnant. I don't know. I found that interesting years later. Why can the sperm still be active if the body's dead? How is it still active? But yeah, for the because I need those little suckers to be alive for that. So why are they alive, but women cannot grow that in their womb? I don't know, that was interesting, because in the Night Huntress series, for instance, women cannot, but, because the, spoilers for Night Huntress, she's half a vampire, and the only reason she was even conceived is that her father had sex with her mom while he was turning into a vampire. So it was in the transition to a vampire. So his sperm still worked, but for instance, as soon as he transitioned, that's it. No more children. I always found that interesting how the rules change all the time. In it. Again, you can get the basics and then add your own stuff in. Some of these, they can't go over water, like in here, but, in Twilight, the sun, they sparkle. They all turn into ashes, they sparkle. But in here, if old Bill goes out into the sun, he's a crisp. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Man, I need to get back to reading vampire books. So much fun. Whew, alright, yeah, so I already told you who I'd recommend if you like this. If you're into vampire books, I think you might enjoy this. So yes, let me know what you think. Have you read the series? What did you think about it? Did you enjoy it, or this book?